I automated my finances for 60 days. Here's what happened. I set up 12 automatic systems and didn't touch my money for 2 months. My savings increased by 2,147 without any effort. But here's the part that actually messed with my head. On day 47, I checked my bank account expecting to see maybe a few $100 more than usual. Instead, I found an extra 1,200 just sitting there. Money I had no memory of saving. Money that felt like it belonged to someone else. And that's when I realized something uncomfortable about myself. I had been my own worst enemy with money for years, and I didn't even know it. Now, before I show you exactly what happened over these 60 days, I need to tell you about the system that accidentally made me $340 in 1 month just from rounding up purchases. We'll get to that. I also need to explain why the fourth automation on my list nearly backfired and cost me $89 in overdraft fees, and how I fixed it in about 3 minutes. Here's my situation. I'm 26. I make decent money, nothing crazy, about $58,000 a year before taxes. And for the past 4 years, I've been telling myself I'd get serious about saving. You know how that goes. Every month I'd promise myself I'd transfer money to savings. Every month, something would come up. Concert tickets, a friend's birthday dinner, Amazon at 2 a.m. when I couldn't sleep. By the time I hit 25, I had exactly $1,400 in savings. 4 years of working, and I had less saved than some people spend on a vacation. So I decided to remove myself from the equation entirely. The first automation I set up was the most obvious one, and honestly, the one that made the biggest difference. I called it the invisible paycheck split. Here's how it works. My paycheck hits my checking account every other Friday at around 6 a.m. By 6:01 a.m., before I even wake up, 23% of that paycheck automatically transfers to a savings account at a completely different bank. Why a different bank? Because I deleted the app from my phone. I don't have the login saved anywhere convenient. If I want that money, I have to actively work to get it. And here's the psychology that makes this actually work. I never see that 23%. My brain adapted within 2 paychecks. I started thinking of my income as 77% of what it actually was. My lifestyle adjusted automatically. In 60 days, this single automation moved $2,208 into savings without me making a single decision. But here's what surprised me. I didn't feel broke. I didn't feel like I was sacrificing anything. Because you can't miss money you never knew you had. Now, I want to tell you about the roundup system I mentioned earlier. But first, you need to understand the second automation because they work together in a way that genuinely shocked me when I saw the results. The second system was what I call the bill automation fortress. And I'm not just talking about setting up auto-pay, because that's basic. Everyone knows that. I'm talking about something more strategic. I mapped out every single recurring expense in my life. Netflix at $15.49, Spotify at $10.99, my gym membership at $49, car insurance at $127, phone bill at $85. All of these were hitting my account on random days throughout the month. The 3rd, the 7th, the 15th, the 22nd. It was chaos. I never knew exactly how much money I actually had available. So I called every single company, every one, and I moved every bill to hit on either the 1st or the 15th of the month. Took me about 90 minutes total. Now here's why this matters. I created what I call money clarity windows. From the 2nd to the 14th, I know exactly what's in my account. From the 16th to the end of the month, same thing. No surprises, no mental math, No anxiety when I check my balance. This didn't directly save me money, but it stopped me from overspending because of confusion. In the past, I'd see $800 in my account, feel rich, and spend $200 on something stupid. Then 3 days later, 4 bills would hit, and I'd be scrambling. In these 60 days, I had 0 moments of financial panic. 0. That's never happened to me in my adult life. And this is where the roundup magic comes in. The third automation was an app that rounds up every purchase to the nearest dollar and invests the difference. You've probably heard of these, but I did something different that most people don't think about. I set my roundups to 10x multiplier mode. So when I bought a coffee for $4.50, it didn't just round up 50 cents, it rounded up $5. When I paid $23.47 for groceries, it pulled an extra $5.30. Sounds aggressive, right? Here's what happened. In 60 days, with just normal spending, groceries, gas, the occasional meal out, those multiplied roundups totaled $347.82, but that's not the real number, because I invested those roundups into an S&P 500 index fund. Over these 2 months, with the market doing its thing, that $347.82 became $361.14. I made an extra $13, doing absolutely nothing. Now, 13 might sound small, but run those numbers over a year, over 5 years, over a decade. We're talking thousands of dollars that materialize from pocket change I never would have saved otherwise. This is actually where I want to mention something that changed my approach to all of this. I started creating content about my financial journey, and the production quality was rough. I was recording voiceovers on my phone. Sounded terrible. Then I found 11 Labs at https try 11labs.io 2pu10009y92jl1 and started using their AI voice tools to create professional-sounding content for basically nothing. That content ended up connecting me with people running the same experiment, which gave me ideas for automations 4 and 5. The fourth automation almost destroyed everything. I set up automatic credit card payments for the full balance every month. Smart, right? Except I scheduled it 3 days before my paycheck hit. Day 41 of the experiment, a $743 credit card payment tried to pull from an account with $612 in it. My bank charged me an $89 overdraft fee. Then the payment bounced, and my credit card company charged me a $29 returned payment fee. $189 gone in seconds because I scheduled the automation on the wrong date. Here's the fix. I moved the auto payment to 2 days after my paycheck hits, and I set up a $500 buffer alert. If my checking account ever drops below $500, I get a text immediately. Haven't had a problem since. Lesson learned. Automation without proper timings is just automated failure. The fifth system was the fun money allowance. Every Friday at noon, $75 automatically transfers to a separate checking account linked to a debit card I keep in my wallet. That's my spending money for the week. Restaurants, entertainment, random purchases. It all comes from that card. When it's empty, I'm done for the week. This automation did something powerful to my brain. It turned budgeting from a constant mental battle into a simple yes or no question. Can I afford this concert ticket? Check the Fun Money card. $80 available? Yes. $12 left? No. Decision made in 3 seconds without guilt, without math, without stress. The remaining 7 automations were smaller. Automatic retirement contributions, automatic subscription audits through a tracking app, automatic savings goals for specific purchases.